To order. Roll call.
Commissioner Cheney,
Here.
Commissioner Casterline,
Here.
Commissioner Russo,
Here.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Here.
Judge Garza.
Here, we've got a full court. At this time, do we have anybody who wishes to be heard during the citizens to be heard portion? Nobody? All right. And I'm glad to see a lot of people out here. Y'all must be interested in the payroll liabilities. All right. Cool. Item number 1.
Move to approve authorizing the county judge to sign the request for public assistance for the federally declared disaster DR 4798 Hurricane Barrel. I'll second that.
Got a motion, got a second. And Jackie,
This is required so that we can file to get reimbursed for all of our emergency protective measures where we relocated the inmates and some of the other protective measures that we took prior to the storm. So we will need to do this.
okay.
It also looks pretty good for us whenever we have a larger disaster. Everything that we follow the lines and everything.
Oh,
I think-
we've had lots of practice with that.
Yeah, well, I remember one time several years ago, it talked about how so many counties were having trouble with federal disaster declarations and stuff and how we seem to do it. I think you made the comment, well, if you do it enough, that you get good at it. So anyway, I just want to let you know that. I remember.
This request is due by August 8th, so we'll take the opportunity to get it in and not run the risk of being too late.
All right. Any other comments?
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes 5-0. Item number 2.
Move to approve authorizing the county judge to sign a letter to Katie Swanson from Mission Aransas National Estuarine Research Reserve to work with the NER and Aransas First Land Trust toward the acquisition of property at 216 to 312 Seaside Loop in Lamar, Texas. County has a drainage easement on the current undeveloped 13.5 acre site. Public ownership could enhance potential drainage benefits in the low-lying coastal area and prevent development that could exacerbate existing flooding and water quality problems. There are opportunities to preserve habitat and increase opportunities to educate on the ecosystem and promote passive public access to in the county.
Got a motion? Do you have a second? I'll go and second it. Open it up for discussion.
I thought it was seconded already.
What's that?
I thought it was already seconded.
Oh,
Sorry.
no.
No, I was gonna let, since it's Bob's precinct, I was gonna let him
Okay.
second.
Oh, okay. You want to second it, Bob?
I'll second it.
All right, for the record, Commissioner Dupnick second.
I have a few questions, so I'm not sure who's going to respond to those, Janae or Earl or who.
We'll make it a team effort.
All right. So in the background, it mentions that applicants are strongly encouraged to combine NOAA federal funding with formal non-federal matching contributions or informal leverage funds from a broad range of sources. And then you list potential collaborators, and that's all fine. What are the pledged amounts that are coming from those? Have they been defined?
They have not.
Is there any need to have them defined at this point?
No, I don't think there is a way to define those yet.
Okay, thanks. And it talks about, and I think in the judge's letter, and then also possibly in the motion, that the county would be the one who would own it, because I believe that's required. And then property management, or we would work out property management with Aransas First Land Trust. Has that potentially been defined?
In terms of a management agreement,
Yes.
it has not, no. And we are happy to present you with a template at some point along the way, very similar to what we do with TxDOT at Aransas Woods off of the bypass. And, but, so we're very familiar with the exchange and the arrangement of a management agreement, but we don't have a template for this situation yet.
Okay,
This just starts a process. This is showing that we are interested.
Exactly.
But-
Mhm.
right. But at some point in time,
We will.
before we acquire it, I certainly would want to see what the property management was going to entail,
Mhm.
to see if there are going to be any resources required from the county in the way of management, because that would either be, I think, the Road and Bridge Department or public facilities.
Absolutely. And just as a side note, the county is planning to do some work on the adjacent property, the Lamar Burton Wetlands Wildlife Sanctuary. And we've just received grant money or been awarded grant money from the Coastal Bend Bays and Estuaries Program. And the county will match that in kind to do a fair amount of work that would feed right into this acquisition very nicely as well.
And the scope of that work,
I will have David Reed speak to that.
right? Thank you.
We do have drainage issues in that area, and the scope would be extending a drainage ditch and probably other work. I think there's some places that need to cross the ditch, so we'll need to put in a culvert of some kind and build a crossing over it and a few things like that. And it's still kind of in the planning stage at this time.
Okay. But you and Daryl have been out there and taken a look at all of that?
I have been out there, Harold. I pointed it to them as we drove down the highway.
That's that one drainage ditch that goes nowhere, right? Right now, it just kind of stops.
Right, right.
There's no access for anything.
Yeah. And the existing drainage ditch that's on the property that we're talking about acquiring doesn't go all the way through to the next property. So, will help that tremendously.
Okay, thank you. And then I have one other question, maybe for Janae. So on the diagram that we were given, there is a closed line boundary and then there's a broken line boundary, but it doesn't define which is the Lamar Burton and then which is this proposed area. And to be honest with you, I have no idea how much 13.5 acres are just looking at it. So I'm thinking that the broken line boundary is the proposed 13.5 acres, but I could be wrong.
I'm not entirely sure what.
I think it's, the broken line is Lamar Burton.
The broken line is Lamar
Yeah.
Burton. So what we're
Yeah.
talking about then is the solid line
With the star.
within it.
That's correct.
Okay, yeah, it had a star, but in the legend, it just said star. So I didn't know.
That's where the guy had the mules and stuff.
I don't know about the mules. There are some cattle grazing on the Lamar Burton.
Yeah, on that side, but there was a guy that had some horses or some mules or something, I
Okay.
think on the property that y'all are talking about, or else the one right next to it.
There's also, if you want to do any development, there's a major lift station just to the east of there. And
That's
the
right.
area- It's the thing right in the middle of nowhere, you have sewer.
Right, yeah. So that I presumably would serve Lamar Point Preserve.
Mhm.
And then, in this case, as mentioned in the intro, the idea is to not only preserve the habitat and to help with the stormwater flow, but also to conserve additional habitat with the sense of continuity that is the Lamar Burton property as well. So this is very preliminary, but the idea is that the actual grant application, if we're invited to submit a grant application, would happen in January. So we have the initial letter of intent and this letter would go in that package and then it would come back in October. And then if we're invited, then we have some time to put together the full package for January.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Castelline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye. Passes 5-0. Item number 3.
Move to approve accounts payable, payroll liabilities.
I'll second that.
Motion and have a second.
Yes, what you have is just some payroll liabilities and payroll, as well as one accounts payable should be the only thing that's on the list. If there's anything else on it, it will not be paid until next time we pay on the 12th. We have, when we started the jury software, we started the electronic payment where they're receiving the cards for, instead of issuing checks. We have to keep funds on hand so that they can, pay those and use the cards. And we need to set that up. And so that's what the request is this time, is to set up the funds for the cards.
What's the amount that's required or that you're planning to put on deposit?
Well, they fronted us some money, it was like $700 something dollars, and I think we're looking at possibly keeping like $3,000 in there. And just watch it, and as we need it, replenish it.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Castelline.
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes 5-0. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Commissioner Russo.
Commissioner Russo, I'll second.
Commissioner Cheney.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Castelline.
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye. Thank you all so much. Appreciate it, commissioners, for coming in.